Hello everybody! Γεια σας! Maya here from the Omilo Greek Language and Culture School in Greece. I am not a native English language speaker and neither am I Greek. But I am married to a Greek. Together with my Greek husband, we founded the Omilo School in 1996. At Omilo, we work together with excellent Greek language teachers, and two of them will be in this course together with me. Let me introduce you first to Terpsi and Marina.
Γεια σας, είμαι η Μαρίνα.
Γεια σας, είμαι η Τέρψη.
Some words about this lesson. In this lesson, you will learn how to greet somebody in Greek. So when you are in Greece or holidaying in Greece, it is very nice you can greet a Greek person in his own language. This gives you a little bit more the Greek feeling, and you will also get more contact with the Greeks. It's always nice if you try to speak the language in the country you are visiting. This course is a beginner's course, so the only thing you need to know for this course is the Greek alphabet. You need to be able to read the Greek words in Greek and to pronounce them in Greek. The purpose is that you get a boost, that you start communicating, and from the moment you feel that you can say something, you will see that you're so much more enthusiastic to continue your Greek studies afterwards. What will you learn in this lesson? Probably in Greek, you already have heard the words yasas and yasu. So what is the difference between yasas and yasu? Well, this is exactly the difference between informal and formal. And that's why you have to learn these two grammar terms. Which means, if you say yasu, it's actually only an informal situation or a singular person. So, to your child or a friend, you will say yasu. But when you meet your boss or a director or an elderly person or a person you have never met before, it is a formal situation, and then you will use yasas. Yasas is also the plural form. So, when you see more than one person, it's always yasas. Even if you see 2 or 3 children, it's also yasas. So, in English, it's a little bit difficult to explain because you don't have this form in English. You only have the you form, whether it's formal or informal. But if you learn different European languages, you also have the same system. For example, in French, you have the tu and the vous form. And in German, you have the du and the sie form. Or in Dutch, you have the je and the u form. So most languages do have the same system as in Greek. Do not worry, it's not that complicated. There are some guidelines. So here you will see when you use the singular or informal form. The singular form, as written down here, is used for one person in an informal situation. So, as I said before, when you greet someone you know well, or a close friend, or when you talk to a child. The plural form, as you can read also on the slide, is to address several people in any situation. So that's plural. So from the moment there are several people together, even 2, then it's already the plural form. Now, the plural form is also the same as a formal form. So, when do you use this form in a formal situation? It is when a person is older than you and not a close friend. So, if you meet somebody for the first time on the street, in the metro, in a restaurant, you usually in Greek will use the formal form till you get to know each other better. In also formal situations, as I mentioned before, when you are at your job and you have to talk to your boss, or you go to university and you talk to the professor or to your doctor, or you go to the municipality and you have to speak to the employees at public services, all these situations are formal forms. So you use this formal or plural form. Now you learned the difference between the formal and informal, and we can continue with your first greetings. Terpsi will read for you the words in Greek, so you have the proper pronunciation of a real native Greek speaker. And we will always indicate when you use the vocabulary in informal, singular form or in formal, plural form.
Γεια σου. Αντίο. Χαίρο πολύ. Χάρηκα πολύ. Γεια σας. Χαίρετε. Αντίο σας. Χαίρο πολύ. Χάρηκα πολύ.
Γεια σας. Με λένε Maya. Χαίρο πολύ. This is one of the ways to introduce yourself. So, hello, my name is Maya. Nice to meet you. In the next video, our teachers Terpsi and Marina will show you an informal and formal situation, and you can hear a basic conversation you can use all the time. Have a look.
Hey, γεια σου.
Γεια σου.
Πώς σε λένε?
Με λένε Τέρψη. Εσένα?
Με λένε Μαρίνα.
Χαίρο πολύ.
Κι εγώ. Γεια σας.
Γεια σας.
Πώς σας λένε?
Με λένε Τέρψη Καβαλά. Εσάς?
Με λένε Μαρίνα Μπράιλα.
Χαίρο πολύ.
Κι εγώ.
Now that you learned your first conversation and you can introduce yourself, it's also time to learn a verb. Every sentence usually has a verb. And the first verb will be to be. So the verb είμαι. Marina will explain you how you conjugate the verb είμαι, and this way you will also learn at the same time the personal pronouns. A personal pronoun means I, you, he, she, we, you, or they. Just for you to know that in Greek you will not use these personal pronouns so often, because you can just say the verb without the personal pronoun and every Greek will understand about whom you're talking. So that's why the conjugation of verbs are important. So you will learn personal pronouns and the verb, but in practice afterwards you will realize that you will not need those personal pronouns so often. So now, before you learned γεια σας, με λένε Maya, or γεια σας, με λένε Marina, which means hello, my name is Maya, or hello, my name is Marina. Now you will be also able to say, for example, γεια σας, είμαι η Maya, or γεια σας, είμαι η Marina, which means hello, I am Maya, or hello, I am Marina. So, Marina is ready to explain you the verb to be. Enjoy!
Γεια σας. One of the most important verbs in every language is the verb to be. Είμαι in Greek. Let's see the conjugation of that verb. This verb is not conjugated like any other group of verbs. It's unique. It has its own conjugation. So, let's hear it. Εγώ είμαι. Εσύ είσαι. Αυτός, αυτή, αυτό είναι. Εμείς είμαστε. Εσείς είστε. Αυτοί, αυτές, αυτά είναι. And don't forget, every verb, the verb to be as well, in Greek, can exist without the pronoun. So, it's very common to hear it this way. Είμαι, είσαι, είναι. Είμαστε, είστε, είναι. Let's see how we can use the verb in some phrases. Είμαι η Μαρίνα και είμαι καθηγήτρια. Ο Δημήτρης είναι Έλληνας.
This was the verb είμαι. And now we will also learn how to welcome someone. You can listen to Terpsi who will pronounce the words for you.
Καλώς ήρθες. Καλώς όρισες. Καλώς ήρθατε. Καλώς ορίσατε.
Καλώς ήρθατε. Welcome. So now you know how to welcome somebody. But there is also another way, which will be explained in the next video. This is when you really see the people, when the people come to you. And then you can say, for example, καλώς τον, καλώς την. So you see some words here on the slide. Kalos means actually, okay, so good, welcome. But you see also the words ton, tin, tous, and tes. Don't worry too much about this. This is actually the accusative of the article o and e, etc. So this is a part of grammar that is a little bit complicated to explain from the beginning. It will actually come back in our lesson first conversations or small talk. We also have a lesson about that, and we explain you more about the accusative. But for the beginning, I wouldn't bother too much. Just learn these words by heart and you will start using them, or you will recognize them when people say to you, kalostin or kaloston. So listen to the video of Terpsi explaining again the grammar of this way of welcoming, and afterwards you will see it also in real situation when the Omilo team is in Napoleon and teacher Marina welcomes the whole team, including myself, in Napoleon. Enjoy!
Γεια σας. Now we will learn a common way how to welcome a friend. Imagine that you are in a cafe and you are waiting for Kostas. As soon as he arrives, you will say Kalos ton Kosτα. If you are waiting for Eleni, you will say Kalos την Eleni. As you can see, the word kalos doesn't change. But after the word kalos, you have to use the accusative form of the name. You can also use a shorter form of the phrase by omitting the name. For example, instead of saying kalos ton Kosτα, you can say kaloston. Or instead of saying kalos την Eleni, you can say kalostin. When more people are coming, you can say kalos τους. Or you can say kalostes if the people that are arriving are only women. So now you know one more way to welcome somebody.
Γεια σου Μαρίνα.
Καλώς το. Τι κάνεις?
Καλά, εσύ καλά είσαι.
Μια χαρά, παίρνω μέσα.
Ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Έλα, καλώς τη.
Γεια σου Μαρίνα.
Τι έγινε?
Γεια χαρά.
Καλά, καλά, παίρνω μέσα. Ευχαριστώ.
Γεια.
Καλώς τους, καλώς τους. Τι έγινε? Καλά?
Καλά.
Έλα, πάμε μέσα, πάμε.
Now it is time for the time-related greetings. So this means greetings that you can say or in the morning, or in the evening, or during the afternoon. Listen first to teacher Terpsi, who will pronounce all the words for you.
Καλημέρα. Καλησπέρα. Καλό μεσημέρι. Καλό απόγευμα. Καλό βράδυ. Καληνύχτα. Καλημέρα σας. Καλησπέρα σας. Καλό σας μεσημέρι. Καλό σας απόγευμα. Καλό σας βράδυ. Καληνύχτα σας.
Terpsi read the words for you with the Greek pronunciation. Don't forget, you can read everything again on your handout. I also printed it out for myself, and all the words are there written for you. Some more explanations about these time-related greetings. First of all, the first words you see there, kalimera and kalispera, are greetings that you use when somebody or yourself arrive. So, somebody arrives, you can say kalimera, or somebody arrives in the afternoon and you say kalispera. So, it's an alternative for yasas. If you want to be formal, so in a formal situation, you can just say sas at the end, like yasas. Yasu was the informal and yasas the formal. So this sas actually is the formal form. You don't really say kalimera su. You could say it eventually, but it's not done so many times. But the sas is used a lot. Time-related greetings also means that you need to have a little bit a notion of when, at what time to say what. So the kalimera is usually used for the mornings, let's say till midday, till 12 o'clock. Kalispera after midday, or from 1 o'clock in the afternoon, let's say. You can say kalispera, and kalispera you can say the whole afternoon till the evening, let's say. Even when it's 7 or 8 o'clock, you can say kalispera. So these two words, kalimera and kalispera, are used when somebody arrives, not when you go away. So if you have visitors and they leave from your house, you don't say kalispera. This is not done. So only when people come. The other words you see there below, the mesimeri, apoevma, vradi, and the kalinichta. So these greetings, kalo mesimeri, means good afternoon. This is early afternoon, so usually from 12, let's say, till 2, 3 o'clock. From the moment you say kalo poevma, so good afternoon but late afternoon, this is usually, let's say, from 3, 4 o'clock, but it can go till 7 o'clock. So an afternoon in Greece is much longer than in Northern Europe, let's say. If you say kalo vradi, again, I would say you can use it from more or less 8, 9 o'clock. You say kalo vradi. And kalinichta is only said when you go to sleep or you go away. So again, you cannot say kalinichta when somebody arrives. Kalinichta is only said when people leave, kalinichta, or when you go to sleep. Then you say kalinichta. So remember, the first two words are used when somebody arrives, and the other four greetings that you can see are used when you go away. I hope this is clear, but when you are in Greece, you will realize when people talk to you, and it's just a matter of feeling. In the end, it comes naturally. And now we start with a common conversation in Greek. As we told you, we made this course for you to start communicating from the very beginning, so you need to do a small conversation as well. You learned already a lot of greetings in this lesson, so you can greet somebody, you can understand also the greetings. But usually when Greeks greet you, immediately after the greeting, you hear the sentence tikanete or tikanis, which means how are you? Which means that for tikanis or tikanete, how are you? You need to know the verb kano. The verb kano actually means to do or to make, but it is used to say how are you, tikanis or tikanete. Teacher Marina will now explain you the verb kano with some sentences, and then I will get back to you with some more explanations.
Γεια σας. The verb to do. Κάνω. First of all, I must tell you that this verb is a normal verb. We conjugate it as many other verbs, and let's see how we can do it. Εγώ κάνω. Εσύ κάνεις. Αυτός κάνει. Αυτή κάνει. Αυτό κάνει. Εμείς κάνουμε. Εσείς κάνετε. Αυτοί κάνουν. Αυτές κάνουν. Αυτά κάνουν. Don't forget, we can use the verb without the pronoun. Κάνω, κάνεις, κάνει. Κάνουμε, κάνετε, κάνουν. About the use of this verb, be careful. Sometimes it means how are you? Like in the phrase, Γεια σου, τι κάνεις? Sometimes, most of the cases, it means to do. Let's see some examples. Η Ελένη κάνει βόλτα. Εγώ κάνω μάθημα. Τι δουλειά κάνεις? Τι κάνεις σήμερα? Δεν κάνω τίποτα. Τι κάνουν τα παιδιά? Παίζουν.
So now you learned the verb kano, which is a regular verb, and most of the Greek verbs are conjugated this way in the present tense. So you will learn more verbs, but it's a good thing to learn this conjugation because it's the regular conjugation of a lot of verbs. When you stay for a longer time in Greece, you might have to call Greeks or answer phone from Greeks. So it's useful to know how to greet somebody in Greek on the phone, because it's very different from greeting somebody in the street or in a shop. It's completely different words. In Greece, you will hear many Greeks on the phone answering like this. Ne, or like this. Ella. Ne actually means yes, and Ella actually means come. You hear these two words all the time, but it's not the best for you to answer the phone like this, because it's used between very good friends in a very informal situation. So you have to know the person very well. There are two words you can use in any situation. So it's easier to just stay with those two words and then you're always okay. And these words are actually parakalo. Parakalo means please, or λέγεται. Hello. Terpsi will pronounce these two words for you again.
Παρακαλώ. Λέγεται.
We came to the end of this lesson, and then you get some good to knows. The thing that we mention here is what teacher Marina already explained to you a little bit in the video with the verb κάνω. Your first conversation usually goes, Kalimera, τι κάνεις? Hello, good morning, how are you? So the κάνω verb is used for how are you? But Marina also mentioned that this verb actually means to do or to make. So be careful, because if somebody tells you τι κάνεις, you actually have to know from the context if he asks you how are you or what are you doing? In general, the context is clear, but as a beginner learning Greek, it might be very confusing. So keep it in mind. They might ask you what you are doing or what he or she is doing, your children, for example, and they might not ask you how she or he is. So this is just a tip for you. Think about it. Is it how are you, or is it what are you doing? Now we really came to the end of this lesson. Not forget, you have your handout and everything is written down. You can also see the vocabulary here and memorize the vocabulary. And of course, we suggest that you start practicing as much as possible and start greeting everybody in Greek till it just becomes automatic. Gεια σας!